We also mentioned 20 suspected illegal miners are expected to appear in the Stilfontein Magistrate's Court in the northwest later today. Let's head over to our reporter, eNCA's Moloko Moloto, covering that story for us. Hello to you, Moloko. Good to have you with us. And as part of this is also going to be a discussion and investigations around police finding 15 AK-47s. And to the minister's point, which we heard in another soundbite earlier this morning, that is not the kind of weaponry ordinary South Africans have. These are syndicates, aren't they?
High caliber kind of firearms, Gareth, which you would know that not even our police or even our army are using. But this suspected illegal miners have access to it. The question is, where do these weapons come from? I guess that will form part of the investigations. Those 20 men who were arrested on Monday here in the small mining town of Stilfontein during a raid by the police will appear in the Magistrate's Court today. And of course, it will be their first appearance. Possibilities that they are going to be profiled. I don't think they will even be applying for bail yet. We also heard from the police minister, Begitele, who was here yesterday, that actually of the 20, 13 of them are Lesotho nationals and 5 are South Africans, while the others come from Swaziland or Eswatini and Zimbabwe. We obviously are expecting that they will appear or will be brought here any time from now. And I can see if I can just shift for you a little bit. In terms of security, these are the 2 men. Okay, there's a third one. They seem to be private security personnel. But what is even more interesting, Gareth, is that it is not only these 20 suspects who will be appearing here in court today. You would recall that sometime last year in October, there was a confrontation at another mine where there was an illegal mining activity taking place not very far from here in Orkney, where the police were raiding and they arrested about 89 illegal mine workers. And at that time, when the police were effecting the arrest, there was a confrontation and exchange of fire. As a result, 6 illegal miners were shot and killed during that confrontation. And now these 89 have been in custody ever since, and I'm told that they will be appearing in the very same magistrate's court here in Stilfontein, however, in a separate courtroom. So that gives you an idea of the seriousness of this illegal mining activity in this area. Not only here, we had the minister yesterday saying that there are problems not only in this province, but Gauteng, Limpopo province, Mpumalanga, as well as the Free State. Those are highly problematical areas when it comes to illegal mining. Gareth?
And so when we now also hear about these syndicates, traditionally, Zama-Zamas, we've been hearing that they're operating in disused mines. But we've also been hearing from the police minister now that there's evidence to suggest that Zama-Zamas are now moving into active mining areas as well, which is no doubt going to cause security concerns for those companies that are still operating at these functioning mines.
So it would seem, Gareth, that the operations by illegal miners is growing in leaps and bounds. For the Minister of Police to confirm to eNCA yesterday that actually they have taken over in one mine here in the northwest, but another one in Limpopo province. So that gives you an indication that these people who are heavily armed, who it would seem that they are prepared to even kill any person who would stand on their way, are really dangerous. And I mean, the words of the former Gauteng Premier David Makhura still resonate here. If you recall that when it emerged that the young women were raped in Krugersdorp, he actually, as he and the police minister went back to that community, at some point during the community meeting, he did point out that it would appear that these criminal syndicates have now taken over. And that obviously is worrisome, considering the fact that we do have the police who ought to be safeguarding the South African citizens. But we also know, at least we heard from the Minister of Minerals Resources, he did point out that actually in 2019, Gareth, illegal mining activity cost an estimated 41 billion rand to the economy, and that was only in 2019. But then the question is, what's going to happen? What would it take for the authorities to nip this activity in the bud? Because it is not only the police who have to do it. Police Minister saying that he would require the assistance and the help of the sister departments such as Home Affairs, such as the Department of Minerals Resources, but also the communities are bearing the brunt, Gareth. We actually understand, when we were speaking to some of the police officers in this small town, indicating that the arrest of this 20 is simply the tip of an iceberg, considering the fact that they live here. They are able to see these operations, and they are saying they intimidate communities. They have basically taken over, and we have seen a parliamentary committee on minerals resources last month going to various communities affected by illegal minings. But obviously South Africans are not looking for visitations by parliamentarians and ministers. They want solutions. They want to see law and order restored in their community.